trick rolls that turn into assaults, robberies. It's happening every single night on the Las Vegas Strip.
Metro is struggling to cope with a new wave of serious crime in the resort corridor. Officers and detectives are stretched to the limit because of organized thievery and violence.
And only the I-Team's George Knapp was invited along as police tangled with the criminals who prey on tourists, George.
To paraphrase Obi-Wan Kenobi, you will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. Right now, visitors in town for the Super Bowl are being eyed as targets by a new breed of criminal that preys on the tourism corridor. We tagged along for a few nights as seasoned officers tried to stay one step ahead of the bad guys.
Coming to circus up here, man.
For Calvin Wandick and the other uniformed officers who patrol the Strip every night on the bridges, the sidewalks, and the streets, it's like a convention of thieves and lowlifes. The tens of thousands of visitors in town at any given moment are an irresistible magnet for criminals of all stripes. The best Metro can hope is to interact with and intercept as many as possible.
You need to go to the doctor, man. What's going on, Chief? No, what do you weed at? You got people walking around here with winnings in their pockets in the high thousands. You know, this guy see an opportunity, he's probably going to take it.
This one stretch of sidewalk outside Planet Hollywood could keep the entire squad busy all night. It's thick with hustlers and drug peddlers, but the team also marches into hotels to disrupt and scatter the trick roll experts who are now a regular fixture in and around the nightclubs. Prostitution these days is more about robberies than sex. Within 10 minutes, 6 suspects were corralled.
Prostitution is kind of at a whole different level than I think any of us have ever seen it up here on the Strip. My time on the department, it's really taken over. It's exploded.
Sergeant Mike Ford runs one of 2 detective teams who do nothing but work serious crimes in and around the Strip corridor at night. More than half of the felonies and acts of violence are linked to robbery rings that use prostitutes as bait. Gangs, teams of pickpockets, major drug operations, auto theft up and down the Strip are nightly realities.
The tourists and people that are at home and don't come up to the Strip, they don't see it and they don't pay attention to it because they're not immersed in it every day.
Over the course of a single shift, the detectives on the Strip see more crime than an entire season of reality cop shows.
You've been running from the cops? Come on. Hey, listen, look at me. You be straight up, we'll help you out, all right? Just don't lie to us.
During the nights we spent with both teams, the officers moved from one serious crime to the next, and the only time they slowed down is when they needed someone to come and transport the suspects to jail. They do a great job, but they obviously need a lot of help. Monday night at 6 and 11, we'll take you along for a view of the Strip that few people ever see. It's an eye-opener.
Now, Metro has the money to hire 300 new cops. What's happening with that?
Well, it takes a long time. They figure it takes about 15,000 applicants to sort out the 300 who would qualify to be police officers. And, you know, we hear this stuff about the ratio of cops to population, how it's improving, but they don't count the tens of thousands of people that come up here. It's like a New Year's Eve every weekend in this town.
True.
Yeah.
All right, more reports tomorrow. Okay.
6-11.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thanks
George.
George.